No one should have any issues if Liverpool were given the title. Nobody should. Why should you give this? Why should you have any issues? Because they're so far ahead. They've done so well, and it is correct to assume that they would at least win the next two games. People say, okay, there is a 0.001% chance. No, there's a 0.000000001% chance that they will lose like 8-7 games and so on. Man City would win. So it is highly unlikely that they'd lose the title. So the arguments for giving Liverpool the title is, bro, they're right there. They're already right there. And I think from what we've heard from most managers and people, it's like nobody would have any beef. Nobody should have any beef, because this is not like if they're only 1 point ahead or 5 points ahead or 6 points ahead. Because if they were 6 points ahead, 8-9 games to go? Oh, anything can happen. Because we'll be so up in the 13-14 season. But at like 19-20 points ahead, you're talking about they have to lose about 5, 6, 7 games, which is it's impossible for that to happen. It is impossible for that to happen. So them being given the title shouldn't make anybody feel away. And I don't think anybody, unless you're just being foolish and stupid, I don't think anybody would say, "Oh my gosh, man, those guys, they don't deserve the title. So how can you give them the title?" No, nobody would feel that way. No way. But if that was to happen, there will be an asterisk. So as much as it is right to give them the title, as much as it's right to assume that they would win the title, let's focus on our word assumption. So rival fans like United fans or City fans, maybe even Arsenal fans will say, yeah, you, also specifically Everton fans, be like, okay, cool, but you were given the title. You didn't win it. And it will always be remembered that this was the year during the virus where the season wasn't finished, and instead they were given the title and they didn't win it mathematically. So people will always say, well, what if they lost 7-8 games? Even if it's very unlikely, but they wouldn't have to argue, what if they lost the 7-8 games? If I was a Liverpool fan, you want to win it the right way. You want to win it, no ifs, no buts. No ifs, no buts, clean. Same thing why I have issues with that Pep treble that they won, because 09, sorry man, it wasn't a clean win. Bayern Munich, it's a clean win. Inter Milan, it's a clean win. Barcelona won, it's a clean win. United won is a clean win. So, and I think for Liverpool, they know that they've been so supreme, they've done so well, that they will say no. And especially, you'd want to, because the whole plan was, and that's why this is such an annoying thing for Liverpool fans. The whole plan was, go to Anfield, we win it at Anfield. Be perfect. You beat Everton. Obviously not. What would have even been better is if Arsenal said what's up to Man City, they were able to go to Everton and win it there, which would be crazy. But I think the ideal thing is, man, if you're going to win it at Anfield, that's really the next best thing. That's really the ideal thing, to win it at Anfield. But the issue is, because for me, like so obviously the latest now is that they've now pushed it to April 30th right now to try and finish the season and so forth, which I think is still unlikely because guys haven't even shut down. Places are still being open. I mean, the stupid thing is the governments are so incapable, because like, if you want to try and get things back rolling, shut everything down. Shut everything down, because if anybody has seen the simulations and how viruses work and everything, is the less people there are out there interacting close to people, and the more testing that you do, the quicker you identify people who are positive with the virus and take them away and then try to treat them or try to self-isolate them, the quicker you're able to fully try and get rid of this disease. But it's going to keep staying there. If, oh no, we'll close schools on Friday, so what about the few days till then? Okay, let the disease spread. There are still workplaces that are still happening with loads and loads of people. So that's obviously going to spread. And by that happening, means that this football season, the suspension of the football season is just going to continue more and more because of the incapability and the brickness of the UK government. So that's in itself is an annoying over there. But it's like, what I don't want to happen, and this is for me, I am fully against this. Don't void the season. Don't void the season. I know that there are a lot of guys out there because they've got the thing against Liverpool and everything. Like, oh no, let's void the season. Yeah, Liverpool will suffer and everything. Yeah, but you're so close for the season. So yeah, I'm just your regular football analyst and everything. So I come at it from a whole footballing point of view. Finish the season. Finish the season. And I think even me and your boy Danny T were even discussing it on Talking Tactics, our podcast. Check that out. Because we're both saying that, wait a minute, why don't you just void next season? So void the 2020-2021 season. So if we go into September, October, whenever we come out of this, we finish off this past season, we finish off the Champions League, the Europa League and all that kind of stuff, then the rest of the months, football tournaments, football friendlies, maybe move the qualifiers to that point of view. Trust me, you can come up with tournaments and so forth to fill the months, and then we then continue to the 2021-2022 season. There are enough minds out there that can try and work things out with regards to contracts. So okay, my contract was ending this time. Nope. Void that. Instead of your contract ended at 2020, 2021, moves over to the next year. So just roll over all contracts over to the next year. Because look, because this is an unprecedented thing. And I just feel and I just believe that you can do things, change things up, make a few tweaks in order to ensure that the season gets finished. Because why should the season be voided? Why do we have to play the 2020-21 season? Are we saying that we have to engage in that season because of contracts and so forth? That has to be done. For me, there is no reason for it. There's no reason for it because I think because the Champions League was popping off. The Champions League was popping off, baby. And I want to see how far let's go. I want to see what Juventus do. I want to see that Real Madrid Man City second leg. I want to see it. Chelsea could have said something. Okay? Chelsea could have said something. I was 9. I was 9 to stand. Well, Chelsea could have said, hey, what's up? I seen it. Based on what Atletico did, Chelsea were about to engage a miraculous comeback. I could feel it in my finger. So, but for me, as I said, I feel Liverpool should not be given the title, and that is a trumpish way to win. I mean, Liverpool, do you really want to win it like that? So Liverpool fans will be like, man, let's just give us that title and give it so forth. But trust me, every United fan, every Everton fan, every Man City fan will say you didn't win it. And in a weird rather way, they'd have a point because they'll be like, yeah, you would have won it, but you didn't. You see, that's the thing. Yes, you would have won it, but you didn't win it. Would have is very different from actually doing so. I don't want to be given a trophy based on, you would have won this trophy, so here you go. No. Did I win the trophy or not? Because once I win the trophy, I want everyone to bow down and kiss the ring. So when everyone bows down, like, no, he won it. Fair and square. He fully won it. He deserved it. I don't want people to be like, okay, I'll kiss the ring, boy. So that's the thing there, man. Is like, finish the season. Finish that for me. I am fully fighting for that. And I feel as well. I think even the youth even said that they're also trying to fight for the fact that we aim to try and finish off this season. And if these guys are smart, for me, I always say, look, I'm one of those dudes that worst case scenario. I'm a worst case scenario matcher. Okay, I'm call me WCSM, worst case scenario matcher. Okay, plan for September, plan for October. So if you plan for September and October, look at all. Trust me, everyone's staying at home, so trust me, you have a lot of time to sit back and be like, all right. If you definitely want to finish off this season and so forth, and we want to avoid the next season, what are the knock-on effects going to be, and how do we sort those out? So let's already start putting stuff into play of like, let's just say worst case scenario, we come out of the woods in September, in October, because look, China and South Korea, it's taking them about 2 or 3 months to come out of the woods. So worst case scenario, September, October. So what we do now is like, look, man, so contracts that are getting pulled out, transfer windows and everything, okay, maybe we now extend the transfer window. We extend the transfer window to September, October, November during the season and so forth. If you look at these contracts, okay, how can we stall these contracts? How can we freeze these contracts and so forth? And just thinking about, okay, what do we need is to do to reimburse? Because things will take a hit. Things will take a hit, but I have to reiterate this point and drive this point home. Do not, under any circumstance, void the season. Don't do it. That would be chumpish. Don't do it. People say, oh yeah, it was done before by the World War. I don't care. It's 2020. This ain't 1920. This ain't 1940. It's 2020, okay? We've got the internet. We've got the iPhone. We've got Samsung Galaxy that I'm trying to fix right now, okay? Don't void the season, okay? Let it end. Let the season end. Let the season end. I'll be back here tomorrow for another video. Stay tuned. Peace.